Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the stock program series in Excel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a simple moving average. It's very, very basic, and you can do analysis on it. I'll show you guys how to calculate like win-loss ratios on it and all that kind of stuff. First things first, you're going to need some historical data, which is with the stock history function. And so you're going to need to put in three things. You're going to need to put in whatever stock you want. Let's say Microsoft. Then you're going to want to put in your start date, which is, let's just say 1/1/2020. And then you're going to want to put in your end date, which could be today's date or a past date, whatever you want. But if you wanted today's date, you could just say equals today, open parentheses, close parentheses, and that will give you today's date, which is 5/11/2023. You're going to go here, you're going to say equals stock history, open parentheses. It's going to ask you for a stock, start date, end date. You're going to go your stock, comma, your start date, comma, and your end date. Close that off. Hit enter, and that will give you all the closes. My other video, I show you guys how to like pull open, high, low, all that kind of stuff, volume. I kind of go more into depth into stock history, but so you got your historical data here, and let's just say you wanted a 5-day moving average, which is pretty common. You can go down 5 rows, you can count them, or you can see it up here. It just says 5 rows. Go to the next bar, say equals average, pull that up just like that, and then boom, that's all you need. And it will, and Excel is versatile to where it'll be B9 or B5 to B9, B6 to B10, and it's going to constantly keep up with the last 5 moving averages. So that's our 5 MA. We'll do another one. Let's just say we want to do the 10-day moving average next. So we go down 10 rows. We're going to say equals average, and then we're going to highlight the last 10 closing prices. And boom, hit that, hit this little corner bar, and then there you have it, all your 10-day moving averages here. So you can kind of quantify strategies on it and stuff like that. Let's just say you wanted an indication on this. Let's say you wanted to see all the times that the 5-day moving average is higher than the 10-day, what they would call like a golden cross, something like that. You could say equals if the 5 moving average is greater than the 10-day moving average, comma. Now it's going to ask you value of true. Let's have that be a 1. Value of, now another comma, now value of false, -1. Close that off. Hit enter. Drag that down, and now you can go up to this conditional formatting right here. Go to color scales and add in some color. All the times it's green, the 5-day is higher than the 10-day, and all the times it's red, the 5-day is lower than the 10-day. And now you can play around with this and kind of figure out how much money you potentially could have made, how much money you could have potentially lost by following this strategy. And how to do that is you're going to need a change in value. So you're going to need equals the current price minus the past price. So there you have that. So that's going to be your change, which I'll just put in yellow. That's going to be your change. And then you're going to want to calculate all the times that it's higher than the 10-day, which will be in green, and all the times that's lower than 10-day we'll put in red. So for here, we're going to say equals if, or indication, which this equaling a 1 means the 5 days higher than the 10-day, and if it's -1, it means the opposite, like I showed you guys. So equals if the indication equals 1, then you're going to want to move over directly over to the change and grab the future change price. So you're going to want to grab one chain link below, because every time an indication happens, the next bar down will be your actual result. That way you can see what the strategy would have done just based on a close-to-close basis. So you're going to grab the future change. That's value of true, and the value of false will be 0. Close that off. And as you can see, all the times that's a 1, you'll have an answer. You'll have that answer, and all the times that's a -1, you'll have a 0. Now for this side, you're going to do the opposite. So you're going to say equals if the indication equals a -1 now, Then you're going to grab your future change, if not 0. So now all the times that it's a 1, these will all be zeros, and all the times it's a -1, they will have a result. And now you could just add it up. You could add it up with the sum function. You say equals sum, open parentheses. Click this and go all the way to the bottom. You can just hold shift, control, down arrow, and it'll bring you all the way to the bottom. Hit enter, and now it's going to show you the sum of all of that. So 19 points over 3 years obviously isn't that great, but oops. Okay. And as you can see here, you would have made a lot more money going long when the 5-day moving average was below the 10-day. That's what's kind of important on how to kind of analyze this. And a way to look at a chart to see how well it's done throughout time, see the volatility of these strategies, is just make an accumulator chart. So you're going to have your positive side and your negative side once again. And what you're going to do is say equals this plus this. So 1 bar down equals that plus that. Oops. Shoot. Hit that. Slide that over. So now now what this is going to do is be this plus this. This will be this plus this. And then you can say equals the next positive change plus the accumulator. And then when you drag that over, it will do the same thing for this. It's going to add this plus this. And then you just double click, have that drag all the way down. I'll change this back to red so you guys don't get confused. And this is like your accumulator of how well this is doing throughout time. And what I'm going to do is just highlight all of these. And the best way to do it is hit Control down to go to the bottom, highlight both of these with the Shift key, hold Control and go back up. That way your chart will be on the top. And then you're just going to hit Insert Chart. And now you can see your chart. You could also just manually drag all this or drag the chart back up, whatever you want. As you can see, the volatility of that strategy, when the 5-day moving average is below, you have a pretty good odds of going long and making money. Just historically, and keep in mind, moving average strategies are very volatile and they constantly change. But as you can see on here, on the blue line, see this will be our blue line here, all the green indication. All the times that the 5-day moving average is above the 10-day will be in a blue line. And all the times it's below the 10-day moving average will be in our orange line. Series 1 and Series 2. And if you click the chart, you can see where the data is coming from. And why I like doing it like this, putting the stock up here instead of putting it into the formula itself, is so you can test out other stocks now. Now you can, instead of Microsoft, let's do Apple or whatever. And that way it will give you different totals. It will show you that, Apple has actually been historically pretty good to buy when the 5-day moving average is above the 10-day. And it's just something to keep in mind. Every stock trades differently. Let's do like Nvidia and all that kind of stuff. If you want the chart title to change with the name, all you have to do is click on the chart title, go to the up here, say equals this. That way you can see whatever thing it is on the chart, and then you can do like just do like Google or whatever. Oh, okay. And Google is the same way. Google is the same as Microsoft, where you're better off going long a lot of the times when the 5-day moving average is below. Obviously, it's getting pretty extended, this kind of strategy, so maybe it'll revert back to the mean, just like things do. But yeah, I mean, that's just a way to look at things, to quantify them. That way you can look at it in a lot of different things, see how much money you could have potentially lost or made just by doing these kind of strategies. Because some people are, momentum type to where they buy into the golden cross, and then other people are very like contrarian type where they view it as a bear trap, whatever you want to call it. And but yeah, that's how you do it. If you want to do like a 20-day moving average, so you can do like Bollinger Bands and stuff, just go down 20 bars, go over here, say equals average of the last 20 closes. Boom. You could also play around with your indication. That's why I like making an indication and color scaling it. That way you can say, so this question was if the 5 moving average was higher than the 10-day, let's say if the closing price was greater than the 10-day moving average, give you a 1, give you a -1, and change that around and see how well that strategy would have done. You can look at it kind of like that. As you can see, throughout the first 2 years or so, it was you're better off buying the stock when the price was below the 10-day moving average. You're better off being a little more contrarian and stuff like that. But like I said, keep in mind how volatile moving average strategies are, just to keep that in mind with your trading. But this is just a way to kind of play around with things, view numbers, and kind of quantify data and stuff like that. There's all kinds of things you can do with Excel. You can do Bollinger Bands, stochastics, MACD, RSI. I mean, anything that you can see on your trading platforms, you can calculate through Excel and actually analyze your win-loss ratios and all that kind of stuff to see what's profitable and what's not. That's kind of the whole point of quantitative analysis. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be the end of this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to check out other videos, I'm going to be showing you guys how to build stuff like this. I don't have a ton of videos out yet, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to do different things and pull the last data up and all that kind of stuff. Do like comparison charts and all kinds of other fun things you can do with Excel. So, but I appreciate you guys watching, especially this far. Good luck out there, and peace out, guys.